Hey everybody, it's a Monday. I didn't come on live the other day. I remembered on Saturday to finish off my week 9, I think. I'm off. Yeah, week 9, which was phase 3, week 1 of 80 Day Obsession. I forgot to do a recap, but it was the first time we did the booty workout for phase 3, and I loved it. Today we started off week 2 of phase 3, and honestly, since we've been doing this 80 Day Obsession journey, there's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and you're doing the same workouts each week, but the way the reps are, the way it's transitioned is a little bit different. So the first week of each phase has been challenging because we've never done these workouts and they have gotten harder with each phase. But I like week 2 of each phase because we're already very familiar with the workout. And so last week, on the first week of phase 3, we did 2 sets of 15 reps. This week we did 3 sets of 10 reps. So by the third set, I felt really comfortable with each move because I had done 30 of them today and I had done it last week. So this program's great. Today has just been a day. I woke up this morning early, just like I had planned, and turned on the news, or I actually walked out in the living room and Ryan let me know what happened in Vegas last night or early this morning, and it was just tragic. And all day today I've been busy. I worked a farmer's market in Tomball, which was pretty cool. It was at a church that's a school, so I got to meet a lot of parents. Funny thing is, a lot of kids knew what Beachbody was because they saw my shirt. And I talked to them. A lot of parents too were concerned about their children's health, and we talked about Shakeology. We talked about a new 3-in-1 smoothie that we have that's pediatrician approved for kids, and it's great for picky kids and adults. But a lot of parents, today is National Child's Health Day, so we talked a lot about that. But today I was just thinking all day, and it was weighing heavy on my heart about what went on, and it seems like there's tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. And I talk a lot about fear. I talk a lot about the mindset. I talk a lot about mental illness. And this is just something that, man, last year was a weird year with the election and with the turn of events. And it's been a weird year this year. And there's been so many tragedies all across the world, not even terroristic things, but and not hate crimes, but natural disasters. It's just, this has been an even harder year. And it's so funny because I noticed one thing that they said this morning on the news was that last night in that crowd, when 50 plus were dead, at least this morning I heard, and 250 hurt, that they said over and over again that everybody pulled together, everybody was working together. And I was like, this is what we need. This is what we need in this world, is some togetherness. We as people are meant to be together. We are meant to be a tribe. We are meant to not be socially isolated. But it's become so normal for people to be very isolated because our brain, as I've said many times before, was really installed in our body just to achieve survival. And so if they see any threat, our natural reaction is to pull away from people. And I'm seeing so much of this in the world now, is that everybody is at odds. And the one thing that I've learned through educating myself in relationships is that you need to give love just to give love, not to receive love. And so many people out there that you're getting whatever you put out. And if you're putting anger out and hate out, that's what you're getting back. And there's so many people in the world that have the same thoughts, they have the same desires, but yet it's not creating unity. It is really creating a disconnection. And I was listening to one of the books that I just started, Braving the Wilderness, from Brene Brown, and it was like, I started the other day. I've listened to probably over an hour and a half of it, and today when I got on my car when I was headed to Tomball to do the farmer's market, the part that she was talking about today, like, literally was perfect timing for what's going on in the world today. And she was talking about how that she's worked with this doctor who studied like loneliness for 2 decades, and he said that back in 1980s, when they were surveyed, 20% of people reported that they were lonely, and 40% of people now, over 40%, double, are reporting that they're lonely. And a statistic also showed that if you are, please, I'm hoping to get this right, if you are overweight and obese, living in the toxic world with pollution and everything we live in, you are cutting your lifespan by 20%. If you are obese, you're cutting it by 30%. If you drink, it's by 30%. And if you are lonely and living a lonely life, isolated, disconnected, you decrease your life expectancy by 45%. And one thing that she talked about loneliness is that, so if you're hungry, that is your body's way of basically saying, hey, your blood sugar is low, time to eat so you can survive. When you feel lonely, it's your brain's way of saying you need connection. You need that because we were designed to be with people. And that is something that we shouldn't feel ashamed of. And the fact that we even feel shame shows that we need people. So this is, I just encourage everybody is like, give love. Even if you don't agree with your neighbor, even if you don't agree with somebody, you don't know where they came from. You don't know how their values have been shaped. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know how they perceive life, because everybody has different things that they are going through or went through that makes them see the world in a different way than you do. It's not right. It's not wrong. Some people do things that are, negatively affect people around them or the world, but fighting back and forth, hating one another does not change anything. And so I really thought about how all of these things that are happening just creates fear and more fear. And people, when they are frightened, the studies show that if you are frightened, you literally can't put coherent thoughts together. And the world is just living off of fear. I literally hate to watch the news. And some people think that that's stupid, but I do try to avoid it, because when you watch those things, all you can do is help but think of fear. When you talk to somebody who's talking about how their marriage sucks or how finances suck or what the world's going on, then those things start going off in your head. And these terroristic things that are going on, the world's just a mess right now. And everybody's living off fear. And living off of fear, you do stupid things. You disconnect from who you need to be connected to. And when you feel disconnected, that just, obviously takes away from your life. And I just choose to do the things that I can to control myself. I try to be a good person. I strengthen my mind and my body through personal development, through exercise, through feeding myself the right foods, so that I have good health and that I try to do my best with my family. And it's controlling the controllable, and it's not putting your head in the clouds. But I see so many people that I remember years ago when there was that cruise ship that everybody got stranded. It was like called the poo-poo ship or something. I don't know. They got stranded for days and whatever. And then all of a sudden I heard so many people who were like, I am never going on a cruise, because that one cruise that happened, people hear of something happening and then they'll never do that, or they hear that you're doing something and they're like, oh, I know somebody who did that and they failed, or this happened, you shouldn't do it. And so many people miss living because of a story somebody else told. And I couldn't help but think, as watching the tragic footage from last night's concert outside Mandalay Bay, and I just thought, how many people are going to be terrified now to go to a concert? And as soon as I turned on my Facebook, after watching a little bit of the news, I saw people talking about that. Like, you can't be safe anywhere. And, I just urge you to, live life. I mean, life is short. But if you are living in fear, you're really not living. And you may go somewhere and something horrible might happen. And I hope it doesn't. But also at the same time, if you stay repressed, if you stay away from people, if you guard yourself so hard that you're not around people, then you never really get to live. And what's the point of going day to day? And so I just encourage you to pray for Vegas, stay strong, stay safe, but also live. Don't let everybody and everything that's going on make you so paralyzed in fear that you stop living, that you stop taking chances, that you stop having fun, that you stop going places, that you stop making friends. And that's just my piece of advice to you today. We just finished day 57 of 80 Day Obsession. I didn't actually work out on time with everybody like I have been doing, because we log in at 11:30 my time, when Autumn is filming it live in San Diego, or Santa Monica, because I was in Tomball. So today I came home and I was doing my workout at, I don't even know what time it is now. I started my workout a little before 6. And you know, any other time I wouldn't, but you know what? This is the one thing I control. It's the one thing that's good for me. And it's one thing that my family knows that I need to do, and they give me this time. And so many people don't do that. And I encourage you to do that, because today, Mondays are crazy. I was busy. I was out in the heat, in the Texas heat today. And I was loading stuff. I was talking to people. I was on my feet. But I did my workout, and I feel great now. I don't feel drained. I feel amazing. And I feel proud of myself that I did something for myself that's self-care. And I also did something that once upon a time I didn't think was important, or I would have just been like, nah, I'll do it another day. So anyways, I hope you had a good Monday.